Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be filming a fun get ready with me Q&A. So I'm going to show you how I do my makeup, my like classic everyday makeup, and also answer some questions that I received on Instagram. So it'll be a very fun, chill, chatty time. Should be very fun because I do get questions on my makeup. So I'll show you how I do it, and also it'll be nice to open up because I feel like we haven't had like a nice deep conversation in a while. So yes, but before we get into it, this video is sponsored by Book of the Month. Thank you so much to them. Absolutely love Book of the Month. They are my favorite online book service and they've been growing super fast. They're really popular, so you probably know them by now, but if you don't, basically how it works is the team at Book of the Month vet hundreds of books each month and give readers their choice from a curated selection of early and new release book titles. So you can leave the researching up to the Book of the Month team and you can spend more time reading as a reader. And they always have the best selections and they focus on promoting new and emerging authors and helping readers discover new books that they love. I've definitely read some amazing books through Book of the Month, so very thankful for their service. And some super exciting news is starting from this month, Book of the Month are going to experiment with featuring more than 5 books each month. So they used to only feature 5 main selections, but they're going to sometimes include more than 5 selections in the month. So this month they have 7. So let me share those titles with you now. So the first is Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. Then we have The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Tell Me Everything by Erica Krauss. The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. The Verifiers by Jane Peck. The Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. And lastly, The Unsinkable Greta James by Jennifer E. Smith. These books all sound really interesting. The 2 I'm most excited for are The Verifiers and Dating Dr. Dill. The Verifiers is a mystery thriller and the main character is part of the LGBT+ community, so love that. I feel like that representation is definitely lacking in mystery thriller novels. And also the main character is Chinese and she has to deal with her family's model minority expectations. And basically this book is supposed to be about love, technology and murder. And of course I'm very excited for Dr. Dill. This is a romance and I actually talked about this in my most anticipated releases video because I have been anticipating this and it's obviously out now. Very excited and very excited to have this stunning Book of the Month edition. Like, look at that. And basically this is about a love-phobic TV doctor who must convince a love-obsessed homebody that they are meant to be. So it sounds like it's going to be very fun. So yes, stunning selection for this month. You can actually go to bookofthemonth.com and use my code WithChloe to get your first book for just $9.99, which is an incredible price for a new release hardcover fiction. And Book of the Month actually had the best price for new release hardcover fiction, so love it. And thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so sometimes I do use primer, but I'm not really bothered today. So I have moisturized, but I'm going to use my It Cosmetics CC cream, which is my classic CC cream that I use like every day. I just love it because it is like full coverage, but it doesn't feel super heavy because it's like a CC cream and it's kind of moisturizing as well, so it's just very nice. So while I blend that out, let's look at the first question. And also I got some really stunning questions, so thank you to everyone who asked. So firstly, who inspires you the most? I don't think I have like one person who inspires me the most. I obviously get inspired by lots of different people. So I am inspired by my friends every day, my family. I think it's so important to surround yourself with people who inspire you and encourage you to be the best person that you can be and have values that you align with and all that. So yeah, I'm surrounded by lots of stunning people, thankfully. So they inspire me every day. Like every time I talk to my friends, I'm just like, wow, I am just in awe of you. And like I said, they inspire me to do better. They inspire me to be more empathetic, learn more about the world, and you know, just love the people in my life. So yes, definitely my friends and my family. And then obviously, you know, I like to consume content from people who inspire me. So like YouTubers that I love, for example, like Orion Carlotto, love her. Obviously lots of authors from books that I read inspire me, like Mary H.K. Choi. Wow, she is something. Okay, so now for concealer, I use the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer. So just put that under the under eyes. The next question, what's something that's made you incredibly happy lately? Well, it's currently Koreadathon week and I probably will have to go with that because I'm loving seeing everyone participate and celebrate Korean stories and the live shows that Monica and I have had so far. So like the first one with Mary H.K. Choi and Kat Chol, like what a dream. And then we also had one yesterday with Axio and June He, which was also incredible. And then we have another one coming up with Francis Cha. So like all these amazing Korean authors. It's so nice to talk about other diaspora Koreans and really connect on that level and also just feel so heard and feel like Korean stories deserve to be told than, you know, specifically diaspora queen stories, and having support for that is just a really amazing feeling. So I would definitely have to go with that. Okay, so now I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter powder to set the under eyes. Then I use the Australis Fresh and Flawless Pressed Powder to set the rest of my face. And let's get another question. If you could snap your fingers and have any 3 skills in the world, what would they be? I would love to be able to learn languages really quickly. I feel like some people just naturally have the skill to do that, and that would be amazing. I would also love to be able to do the splits because I've been working on that, and you know, I am making some progress, but it's taking time. But I would love to just be able to just do the splits because that's my dream in life. Well, one of my dreams. And what else? I would love to be really good at ice skating. When I was younger, I would see people like doing all these tricks on the ice rink and be like, wow. I feel like that is what life's about. So I would love to be able to just wake up and go on the ice rink and just suddenly like do all these spins and just be an amazing ice skater. Those are just some skills that come to the top of my head, but if I thought about it longer, I probably would have a different answer. But those are some fun skills that I would love to have. Okay, now I'm going to use some bronzer, and I use the Hourglass Radiant Bronze Light, which I have mentioned in previous like makeup related videos, and I still haven't hit pan. Like, it's actually a joke. I just use a little bit and, you know, put it on the perimeter of my face. But yeah, I've had this for a while now, and it's insane how much I still have left. What's a book or author that you think is severely underhyped? I definitely think Starfish by Kemi Dawn Bowman is very underhyped. It is just such an incredible book, one of my favorites. If you saw my first like reading around a book of my bookshelf video, that is when I first read it, and I was blown away. My camera rudely cut me off, but yes, Starfish, one of the books that is most meaningful to me, and I think a lot of people can gain a lot from reading that book. And I don't really know many people who've read it, to be honest. Kevin read it for the first time last year and he loved it, and he also agreed with me. He's like, why is no one talking about this? And he fell in love, and it was such a satisfying feeling because obviously I love this book a lot, and it's the best when someone reads a book because of your recommendation and they also love it. But yeah, Starfish, it's just so incredible. If you don't know, it's basically about this biracial teen living in America. So she's Japanese and white, and she deals with lots of mental health issues. She has a complicated family. She loves art, and it's just such an amazing book that I wish more people would read. And I'm actually going to be rereading it this month because it's my Patreon book club book for this month. So I'm very excited that more people are going to be reading it. But yes, I definitely think that's underhyped. So for my contour, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. As you can see, I only have a little bit of the contour powder left. How is my mental health going at the moment? Firstly, thank you for this question. That's very nice to ask. It's actually going pretty good. Earlier this year, I definitely had a moment where, you know, I wasn't feeling amazing, and that's normal. You can't always be like, woo! But honestly, since last year, the steps that I've taken for my mental health have been life-changing. So I'm medicated now. I started therapy. I've also developed lots of healthy habits that have been beneficial for my mental health. So it's definitely going good at the moment. And it's normal to have like ebbs and flows. And at this current moment, I'm feeling pretty good. And like I said, that is because of the things that I have been doing for my mental health. Very important to prioritize your mental health and do things that are going to be good for your mental health. At the moment, my anxiety is definitely the thing that I'm struggling with the most. But you know, if I am really struggling, I just remind myself to just take it one day at a time. And if it feels like I have nothing to look forward to, I just focus on small things that I can look forward to. So for example, looking forward to seeing the new poem for the day from my poetry calendar, which I actually haven't done for today because I got a new one. So I talked about my pillow thoughts one in my recent like favorites video, and I have that in my bedroom, and then I bought this one for my desk. So this is poetry of Samantha King Holmes and R.H. Sin. So I love having the poem that I get to read in my bedroom in the morning, and then when I get to my desk I have another one. So let's do today. You can't force someone to have the same vision as you. You can't force them to be on the same page. I think the goal is to find someone who understands that a relationship takes work and that it won't always be perfect, but it is more than worth staying in and working on. Love that. And speaking of relationships, I actually want to quickly say that I did get some questions about people who used to be in my life, and I completely understand the curiosity, and I'm completely aware that I've shared aspects of my life and relationships that I've had in the past online, but just remember that things change throughout time, and I'm allowed to have boundaries when it it comes to sharing information about my personal life. And also remember that what you see online is not because you're entitled to it, but because people choose to share it. And although I do choose to share a lot of my life online, I don't share everything, and I'm allowed to have things for myself. So I know most people do, but please just remember to respect my boundaries, my privacy, and my feelings. And I will also say that people do come and go throughout your life, and that's just a part of life. You can cherish the memories that you had with someone and learn and grow from the experience. I do believe that everyone comes into your life for a reason, but not everything is meant to last forever, and that's completely fine. So once again, I understand the curiosity, but you know, someone constantly asking you, what happened with this person? What happened with this person? It can be quite hurtful, especially if you haven't like processed everything yet. Social media is such a curated thing, obviously, so you only see certain aspects of relationships or someone's life, and people can take this information to try to create their own narrative. But at the end of the day, you don't know everything about someone's life that you see online. We all have 24 hours in a day, and most of the time you only see a small portion of someone that you see on social media's life. But let's get to highlighter. I use the Colourpop Flexitarian highlighter, which is amazing. I usually just use my finger and put some on my cheekbones and like just above the eyebrow, and then also on my nose. Any tips on embracing self-love? I honestly sometimes think about making like a whole video on this, because this is something I've really focused on for the past year. But let me just share some quick tips. Before I get into it, the blush I'm using is the Milani Baked Blush in Coralina, a classic YouTube fave from like 2012 or something. You need to acknowledge that the way you speak to yourself is very important in your self-love journey. So I know it's kind of like the trend to like have self-deprecating humor and, you know, be like, oh, I just suck, like I'm so dumb, like all these things. But I personally think that's actually quite harmful, because words are very important and very powerful. So if you're constantly telling yourself that you suck, even if it's as a joke, I feel like your brain will start to believe it. So instead, you should try to be nicer to yourself, even if you don't believe it. Honestly, faking confidence is one of my biggest tips in life. If you're not actually feeling confident, if you fake it, I feel like it literally creates confidence. So you can just be like, oh my god, I am killing it today. And even if you don't feel like you are, like if you keep saying it, like you'll start to believe it. Also, one of the things I like to do is every now and then I'll like write myself a love letter. So obviously you see your friends in an amazing way and you like to give them compliments and hype them up and stuff. Try to do that for yourself. So try to see yourself from an outside perspective and be like, I really like how you do this. I really like your compassion for people. I like how you're passionate about things, you know, stuff like that. It's just so important to be your #1 cheerleader, because at the end of the day, you're the only one who will always be there for you. And also I think it's important to focus on non-physical attributes about yourself to completely gain self-love, and then hopefully that will lead to you appreciating your outer beauty as well. So I like to focus on being confident in who I am as a person, so my personality traits, my characteristics, and if I feel good about that and I feel good about the person that I am, then I just feel like it comes out and I can appreciate my shell that covers my human body. Once I started working on my self-love, by the way, using the Morphe setting spray, I became way more confident in my looks, because I've definitely struggled with confidence like many other people. I'm pretty sure everyone has struggled with confidence at some point. I feel like now I'm the most confident I've been in my life, which is a very nice feeling, and it's definitely down to realizing my worth, focusing on self-love, being nice to myself, giving myself grace, talking to myself nicely, doing things for me. Faking confidence is key. So now for eyebrows, I use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade and the Dark Brown Eyebrow Powder Duo. And basically I outline with the pomade and then fill in with the powder. Then I also use the Hourglass Brow Voluminizing Fiber Gel to set them. Okay, another question I got, how did you and your ex become friendly again? I definitely wanted to talk about this because I think it's very important to show that exes can be friends, and you don't always have to like hate your ex and wish them the worst and stuff. Me and my ex were together for a very long time, so I personally think it'd be very sad to, you know, have all these negative emotions towards him and not have any contact with him, because obviously we spend so much time together. I still care about him as a person. I still want him to be happy and live a good life, and obviously we had a friendship as well, so it's nice to be able to maintain that friendship after the breakup. But there are some key things. So firstly, it definitely depends on the circumstance. So for example, if they did something horrible that can't be forgiven, like I don't think you need to be friends with that person. If you still have feelings for your ex, I don't know if it'd be like super healthy to be friends with them, because it'll probably be hard for you. I think also time apart is very key. So basically with my ex and I, we had our time apart, you know, we didn't like meet up to be like, hey, like let's hang out. We had our time apart to heal, move on, understand that we weren't meant to be and everything. And once we had both healed and moved on, we were able to become friends again because, you know, we've moved on from the situation. We're both adults, so we can appreciate our friendship. And, you know, we obviously don't have feelings for each other or anything, so we can have a healthy friendship, and it's very nice. And I feel like it should be more normalized to be able to be friends with an ex. For example, I think I see on like TikTok and stuff when they're like, oh, it's a red flag if they still follow their ex on Instagram. And I'm like, okay, that is just very immature thinking in my opinion. Obviously, if they still have feelings for their ex, I would understand that. But also, if they still have feelings for their ex, maybe you shouldn't be with them. But if I get into a new relationship and the person that I'm with is still friends with their ex, I wouldn't feel uncomfortable as long as I know that like my new partner and their ex don't have feelings for each other anymore. And that they've had time apart to heal and like come to terms with everything and stuff. But once again, it definitely depends on the circumstance. So I definitely don't think every couple can be friends after they end things. But thankfully, in my case, we have been able to maintain our friendship, which has been really nice. Okay, did you go to university, and if so, what did you study? Yes, I did. I studied commerce, majored in marketing. It was a fun time, but to be honest, the subjects that I loved the most were actually my electives. Thankfully, I was able to do quite a few electives in my degree. So I did some really fun like criminology units. I did gender studies. I did this fun science unit, so that was really fun as well. We basically learnt about like the possibility of life on other planets in our solar system. And did you know that the most likely place other than Earth in our solar system where life is likely to be found is Enceladus, which is an icy moon of Saturn. And basically the moon has like an icy layer, and underneath there's most likely water where life is to be found, probably. So very interesting. I loved that subject and I did very well, to be honest. And actually I've really been thinking lately about possibly going back to uni because I really miss it. Like, I love learning. I remember when I first finished my degree, I actually was kind of having an existential crisis because I was like, oh my god. Like, is this really the end of my learning journey? I love writing essays, I love doing research, I love just learning. Love being in a classroom setting and like having discussions. I've really been missing it lately, and I have been contemplating possibly going back and doing like English and like media. Like, how fun. So, you know, who knows? Maybe I will. Okay, so some people were asking about my astrology chart, and I'm a Capricorn sun, Aquarius rising, and Cancer moon. I've been slowly getting into more astrology over like the year. I still am not super well versed in it, but when I did read about my chart, it did make sense. And it was very interesting. But if you want to read me to filth, then feel free to do so. Okay, so eyebrows done. I'm gonna add some of my brow gel. What's been your favorite memory so far this year? This is a really hard one because actually I've had lots of amazing memories so far. Like, I went to Adelaide with my friend Tess, and that was so amazing. Like, that was really peak happiness. Like, I love Adelaide, which I wasn't expecting. I used to judge it, apologies. I used to think it was kind of boring, but it's actually such a beautiful place with lots of fun things to do. But I'm going to do my eyeshadow now, and I use the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette a lot of the time. This has been like my favorite for years now. It's just a classic for me. I just love the shades and the formula. So I'm going to use this light brown sandalwood in the crease. But yeah, and then I also went to the Blue Mountains with Kaz, Momo and Chami last weekend, and that was so fun. Literally 10 out of 10 weekend, just amazing times. I just feel like I'm surrounded by so many amazing women, and I'm just very, very thankful. So probably a tie between those two. Yeah, honestly, lots of good memories so far. Are you currently dating / going on dates? Not really. Like, every now and then I try to be like, hello world, but it is not really my #1 priority at the moment. I'm not like closed to it, but I do get scared of the dating culture these days. It's definitely not my vibe. Like, I'm definitely not a casual person, so it's been a bit tricky to navigate that world. But yeah, so like yes, but also no. You know, like I said, I'm not closed off to it, but I'm just more focused on myself and my friends and my family at the moment, and my work, obviously. And actually I did also get some questions about like how to be happy single and thrive when you're single and stuff like that. And obviously I love, you know, being in a relationship, and I'm definitely a relationship person. You know, like I love like doing life with someone, but it's very freeing to be single, especially after being in a long-term relationship. I definitely have learnt to enjoy it. Like, I definitely have my moments where I'm, you know, a bit lonely and I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to have someone, but overall it's definitely very nice. And I've learnt to fill that like void that I used to have for like wanting someone and wanting a relationship with the love for my friends and family and myself and Scruffy. I don't know if you can see him. No, you can't. He's over there sleeping. There's obviously so many different aspects to life and so many things that are important, and you can still be completely fulfilled without a relationship and without a romantic partner. I'm gonna go in with henna in the outer corner. And also I feel like there are things that I would like wait to do until I had like a romantic partner. So for example, like, oh, I'd love to go on a date there. If you're thinking something like that, just go there by yourself. Like, take yourself on a date. I'm actually gonna film a vlog soon where I take myself on a date and like just have a nice day out by myself. So I'm really looking forward to that. And sometimes I see like a cute teddy and I'm like, oh, if I had a romantic partner, I'd love if they bought me that. I'm like, okay, wait, maybe I should just buy it for myself. I recently bought this really cute teddy, Winston. Love him. You know, it is like a classic thing that you would get for like a romantic partner, but I saw it and I was like, I want it for myself, so I'm getting it. Little things like that you can do. Also just reminding yourself that it's much better to be alone than to be with the wrong person, because if you're with the wrong person, it can really suck the life out of you, the personality out of you. It's not fun. So I would much rather be single than be with the wrong person. And it is hard to find the person that you're completely compatible with. So, you know, I'm fine to be single for however long I need to be, because yeah, the thought of being in a mediocre relationship, absolutely not. Okay, so Bella said, who is the baddest bitch in Sydney, and tell me why it's you. So it's me because, no, I'm kidding. I love Bella. Bella Bunny is amazing, and this made me smile, so thank you. The mountains or the sea? How could you ask me such a question? I love both. Oh my god, that's such a hard one. Okay, I'm just gonna go with my instincts. Oh no, the battery's flashing. Okay, I'm just gonna go with my instincts and say the mountains. But I don't know, because I love them both. Any traveling plans? I love traveling. I honestly wish I could travel like every second of every day. But at the moment, I have a fun trip planned to New Zealand. In July, Caitlin and I are going to the Jack Harlow concert. So very excited for that. I also don't have any set plans to go to Korea, but I would love to go ASAP because it's been too long, and obviously I have family over there, and it'd be very nice to see them and just go back to Korea because obviously I love it. And hopefully I can do some fun like traveling in Australia this year as well. I want to do like some fun like Airbnb getaways and just like explore, because I feel like I haven't like fully explored Australia. Actually, Kaz, Momo, Chammy and I, we went to the Blue Mountains recently, and we want to go to like every state in Australia. So next we're going to go to Melbourne together, which will be very fun. So we need to plan that, but that will definitely be happening. Hopefully we're going to go to Adelaide again soon. I haven't like been to like Perth and stuff, so that'll be cool to go, hopefully. Do you still annotate your books the same way like the last video you posted a year ago? No, it's definitely changed in some ways. So I'm definitely going to film an updated how I annotate video soon. If not this month, then hopefully next month. I have a lot of videos that I want to post, to be honest. So maybe I should stop giving a timeline because there's a lot. But hopefully this month or next month. Because yeah, I feel like it's definitely changed quite a bit. And I really love my annotation process at the moment. Also, I'm just using Trust Fund, which is like my favorite glittery bronze shade for the lid, and it is kind of hard to get in there because, you know, it is running out, but it is just stunning. How do you deal with a friendship breakup? I think honestly dealing with it in the same way that you would like a romantic breakup, because it's still kind of the same in the fact that you're losing someone that you were close to and you thought would be in your life for a while, and you know, it can feel the same as like a romantic breakup. So the video that I posted where I talked about breakup tips and like how to get over a breakup, I think those tips are quite helpful for a friendship breakup or any sort of breakup. So, you know, even if you had good times, just reminding yourself why it's not good for you to be friends. And actually another question that I got was like, how do you know if a friendship is toxic? Firstly, I think if you're asking that, that's not a good sign. But also I think it's important to really reflect all the time. Like at the end of the week, I do reflecting on like my life, so all aspects, so relationships, my work, my family, what I'm happy with. Oh, sorry, my eyeliner. Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Kohl. So for example, my daily planner that I use, which is the Dreamy Moons one, sometimes there's questions like, what has been weighing you down this week? And it really makes you think, okay, yeah, what has been weighing me down? What has been draining my energy? What hasn't been making me feel good? And asking yourself those questions is so important because it could be like something that you could change. So I had this moment where I was like, oh, this person in my life is causing me a lot of anxiety and stress and not make me feel good about myself. So I was like, okay, well then maybe that person shouldn't be in my life, you know? But if I didn't really reflect, maybe I wouldn't have realized that, because when you're speaking to someone a lot, it's easy to like not realize overall how they're making you feel and overall how they're affecting your life. So reflecting is definitely important. And, you know, just asking basic questions like, do you think this person wants the best for you? Do you think this person is actually rooting for you? Do you think this person aligns with you in terms of your core values? Those questions are definitely important in knowing whether you should be friends with someone or not. Okay, now I'm going to add some of henna to the lower lash line as well. Okay, now I'm going to curl my lashes. So Kevin, get ready for the screenshot. I actually got this eyelash curler from Lash Therapy Australia recently, and it's so good because it has the little like teeth to like fully get into the eyelashes, and it's very stunning. If you had a travel bucket list, what countries would be on it and why? And also thank you so much to everyone who said really nice things. I really appreciate it. I would love to go to Japan. I'd love to go to Scotland. I'd love to go to like all of Europe. I'd love to go to honestly just every country ever. But yeah, the top places I want to go: Japan, Scotland, maybe France. Wow. Oh my god, look at my little baby Asian eyelashes actually looking curled and long for once. That's exciting. Do you miss your fantasy era? No. Obviously it was a fun moment in time, but things change, people change, you know, you have different eras. And at the moment I'm not in my fantasy era, and that's completely fine because that's just not my vibe right now. I don't have the pull to like read lots of fantasy. I do appreciate fantasy every now and then, but you know, I used to like only want to read fantasy sort of thing. And now I'm discovering all these other new genres that I really love. So that's been really nice. Oh my god, my eyelashes are killing it today. What is that about? Also, I do want to say that my makeup routine right now, I feel like I've found my perfect makeup routine for me in terms of, you know, what complements my face the best, which I kind of hate when people say that because like what the hell does that leave for me? But you know, what I personally like, and it's just very nice to like find exactly what you like. I used to be so obsessed with making my eyes like super round because I wanted to like look as wide as possible. Classic me being ashamed of my Asianness growing up. Got all of that. But now I fully embrace obviously my Korean side, and I love doing like a cat eye vibe, and obviously does make my eyes look more Asian, but I love that because that's me obviously. And I finally, after so many years, gotten over the obsession with trying to make me look as white as possible, and it's very freeing and very nice. So I have been doing a winged eyeliner like every day, well, when I do my makeup. And I basically use the black in this palette, so black truffle. I use this angled brush and just do a fun little winged eyeliner moment. And I love doing my eyeliner like this because I don't really love like glossy eyeliner on me sort of thing, so I wouldn't want to use like an eyeliner pen, but this is just perfect. And also I feel like it's easy. So yeah, I just use the angled brush. You just do it. By the way, I'll try to link all the products that I use down below in case you're curious. Obviously, I love and recommend all these products. So, eyeliner's on. Now I'm going to add a little bit more mascara and then add my false lashes. I use the Baby G lashes from Koko Lashes, and I actually like cut up the corners, so I just like to add this little bit to the ends of my eyelashes rather than using like the full strip. And once again, that just adds to like the cat eye vibe. Previous Chloe would have never thought I would do something like this because once again, was obsessed with the round vibe, but I really love the way that this looks. And it's also very easy to put on because you just have to like put at the ends. So just put in some lash glue obviously and let it dry for like 30 seconds-ish. Okay, how do you stay positive? In order to stay positive, you definitely need to put in work. Like I used to have the most negative mindset because I kind of feel like it's easy to, like I feel like, you know, if something happens, you're just like, oh great, like of course this happens to me. Like if you think the world is against you, then you'll see any like inconvenience as like a personal attack sort of thing. That's not healthy, that's not beneficial, that's not fun. So ever since I put in more effort into thinking more positively, my life has been more positive and it's led to increased happiness, and it's been amazing. So an amazing post actually that I recommend, actually wait, I should probably freaking put the eyelash on. It's drying up. So one of my favorite Instagram accounts that I follow is the Holistic Psychologist. I'll have them linked below. And they post lots of amazing advice. And I do follow quite a few like psychology accounts, and I love reading about psychology and learning more about it and how to change your thought patterns and stuff like that. So I highly recommend trying to follow some amazing and helpful accounts like this. But yeah, lots of good advice on the Holistic Psychologist, including how to be a more positive person. So they posted this. So I won't read all the slides, but the first slide says, choosing positivity isn't about being positive all the time. It's about an awareness that in all situations, even painful ones, can be temporary. All situations have lessons within them. So yeah, I always try to focus on what can be learnt from a situation, how I can grow as a person from the situation, even if it was a negative one. Just always trying to find the positive and the silver lining in things, but also letting yourself have your moments. So don't feel like you need to be positive 24/7. Like, that's just impossible. You know, we obviously all have our moments where we just want to cry, be negative, be dramatic. You know, it's good to have those moments and allow yourself to have those moments, but definitely try to have that as a moment rather than like the way you're always thinking sort of thing. So, you know, I might have a night where I'm like really dramatic, crying, like, yeah, let it out, let it out. But then the next day try to be like, okay, yeah, let's try to be more positive about this. Like, what can I learn from this situation? For example, like if like a glass broke, I used to be like, oh great, like of course, you know, be so annoyed about it. But now if something like that happens, I'm just like, what can you do? Like, it's already happened, you can't change the past, so just accept it and maybe even try to laugh about the situation. And obviously, you know, if you're really struggling mentally, it's hard to do these things, so I completely get that. But if you're able to, just try to, yeah, make a positive out of a negative. Okay, so now that the eyelash is on, I like to kind of make sure that the eyeliner is all cleaned up and stuff, so I might add a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit more mascara to my eyelashes. Oh, I didn't even talk about my mascara. I use the Revolution Beauty False Lash Mink Effect. This is like my favorite mascara I've ever tried. I have like very stubborn, short Asian lashes that do not like to be curled and don't have much length and stuff, but this is one of the only mascaras that actually adds something and makes it look like, wow, there's some eyelashes going on there. Okay, so while I'm letting that dry, I'm gonna put on my lip product and then I'll put on some mascara on the bottom lashes. So I'm going to be using the Revolution Beauty Satin Kiss Lip Liner in Heart Race. And let me get another question up. My sister Penny asked, why are you so annoying? Exactly to this question, top 3 best Disney Channel original movies. Okay, this isn't my locked-in answer because I would probably need to like sit down and fully look at all of them to see which one's my like favorites. Definitely the Lizzie McGuire movie, that's a classic. That always makes me smile. Actually, I need to look at a list. I need to look at a list. I mean, obviously High School Musical. What am I doing? Of course, High School Musical 2, the best movie of all time. So that would be my number 1. And then probably the Lizzie McGuire movie. Oh, Halloween Town. That's a classic. Oh, the Cheetah Girls. Okay, jokes. Cheetah Girls would be number 2. Oh, but Twitches. Okay. Okay, love the Lizzie McGuire movie, but I think it has to be kicked off my top 3. So I think it would be High School Musical 2, The Cheetah Girls, and Twitches. Oh, but maybe Twitches is number 2 actually, because I love that movie. But I love The Cheetah Girls. Okay, anyway, lots of good Disney Channel original movies, obviously. Okay, so for my lip gloss, I use the Glossier Clear Lip Gloss. It is delicious. Not actually, like, don't eat it, but I mean, it's just so juicy and stunning on the lips. And like I said in my favorites video, I love a wet lip moment. Okay, now I'm going to add some mascara to my bottom eyelashes and then I'm pretty sure we're finished. Okay, so this is the final makeup look. Really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for asking questions on my Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support always. This was such a fun, chill video to film. So yeah, really hope you enjoyed it. And thank you so much once again to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video. Don't forget you can go to bookofthemonth.com and use my code with Chloe to get your first book for just $9.99. If you're looking for more content from me, I also have a Patreon, which is always linked below, and that is where I upload extra content like extra reading vlogs. We do a monthly live show, we do a monthly buddy read, etc. I have all my socials linked below, including my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/gamewithchloe, and that is where I stream games and just chatting. So hope you're all having a good day or night. Appreciate and love you always, and I'll see you in my next video.